Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hack Shack located right here in Los Angeles. My name is Johnny, and I support horror. Today, I'm so excited to have on two guests right now. They are two of the stars of the movie Host, the hit horror movie that is streaming right now on Shudder. Jemma Moore and Haley Bishop, welcome to the show.
Hello.
This movie Host was shot entirely on Zoom during this pandemic and everything. Such an awesome idea. It's about six friends that perform a seance together over Zoom. Such a great idea. It goes horribly wrong. Thanks a lot, Gemma. But you'll say it's Haley.
It's Haley. It's Haley.
Is it because
fun? And then
is it because Haley started it? Like none of this would have happened if Haley wouldn't have just done the seance, right?
Yeah, listen, John, like, if you knew Haley like I did, you'd know that girl sort of tampers with a bit of devil.
I've seen on Twitter the outpouring love of the horror community and just people for this film. I mean, it's the most popular movie right now on Letterboxd. I mean, that's huge. There's over like 500,000 titles on Letterboxd, and Host, I believe, is still like the most talked about number one. Dread Central, a highly respectable horror news site, said that Host was the scariest film of the past decade. So what's it like to feel all this love from everybody?
It's amazing. I mean, the horror community are, can we swear on this podcast?
Oh yeah, sure.
The horror community are fucking awesome.
We are fucking awesome.
Honestly, because I was nervous because I hear like my friends who go to Fright Fest and stuff like that, and they're all very much like, okay, if you can do well or if you can get like a good, that's pretty awesome. And then we've got this response and it's just so cool, and everyone's really cool and nice and funny, and like it's good to have like banter with everyone, and so I've just been loving it. It's just been such a great community to be like welcomed into with such big open arms.
Yeah. I feel like when we were pitched this first by Rob and Jed, our writer director, that we were like, okay, like cool, we'll make a short film in lockdown and horror, like it's so fun, that'll be great. Maybe like we'll get a couple of fans, maybe we'll get our prank video got like 7 million views, so we were like, maybe it'll get to that level. Amazing.
Yes.
Then we drop Host, and like all of a sudden we're getting like our Twitter feed is just like people sending you DMs. Like the outpouring love from people for the film was just not expected, and it's been so much fun. Like it's great that we get to interact with everybody, and we've gotten all these amazing posters sent that people have just made. And
I've seen all that art.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I heard from Jed when I had Jed on the show. Jed Shepard, by the way, is one of the executive producers and writers of Host. He told me you two didn't really, and everyone didn't really watch horror at all, right? Before you did this film?
No, I think we were all a bit.
And that's okay.
We all wimps. We all get scared too easily.
You could
John,
have.
I'm a wimp. I will be up for days. Like, I can't deal with the psychological trauma of horror. Like, I think it's only testament to how good horror could be that I will literally not sleep. And I need to work, and I need to get up in the morning to do my life. And I can't do that if I'm getting 2 hours of sleep. I sleep with the light on still sometimes, and I make my partner go and check everything. Like, I use him as cannon fodder. Like, that's how scared I could get on a horror film.
Like, do you ever check in the back seat of your car before you get in?
Every time, and also under the seats, because I've heard stories about people hiding underneath the seats in cars when no human could fit under my tiny Toyota like seats in their car. Have you ever heard the thing like be scarier than the scary thing? Yeah. Absolutely. So like I'll run into my bedroom if I'm on my own in the house, and I'll literally be like, ah, and just like run in and make loads of noise to try and freak out anything that's in there that I could possibly scare.
Yeah, safety first.
Safety first.
Yeah, we're kind of a weird bunch, I guess. We're like, I think about this sometimes. It's like, how can I watch the most disturbing shit and then just go to sleep with a smile on my face? It's like, dude, how messed up are you? Like, what's wrong with you? But there's a lot of people like me. So
it's cathartic, isn't it? I think it's a way of exercising that sort of like, I don't know, like a way of exercising a fear, which is a really natural human feeling in a way that's actually very healthy. I think that's why like I watch like action films and stuff like that sometimes, because I kind of want to exercise that fear a little bit.
Speaking of fear, of like this movie, it being just so creepy and eerie, other than that, and just the idea of the seance over Zoom is so cool. I have to say my favorite part of this whole movie is how authentic it felt, because all of you who are all friends in like real life, it came across that you so natural, and like your banter and you talking over one another. It didn't even seem like there was a script. Did that relieve any pressure off of you while making this film, that you were doing it all together kind of as friends, like you already knew each other?
Yeah, I think it definitely helped, especially given the nature of how we were filming it. There was a treatment. We got a breakdown of the character arcs and different emotional peaks we needed to hit throughout the film. But all the dialogue is improv, and that just comes from us having a great bond as friends and being able to play off each other so naturally and easily, which then, we're shooting something on a medium that, is brand new, that nobody's ever shot a full feature like film over Zoom. Mm-hmm. And we also then are having to do it in isolation. So we are our own crew. We have to make sure that we set the camera correctly and we set the audio levels correctly. And we have to be aware of every little aspect that normally you'd have a full crew to help you with. So being able to then do that and then also act in a heightened state of terror is like, it was really, really nice to have the friendship bond there and kind of the ease that brought to everything else. And then it gave us the freedom to play and just be able to like really scream at each other or really be terrified and crying and snotty. I mean, it was definitely helped a lot.
Did you all do a real seance before filming this? And did something creepy happen at all? Was it just...
Yeah, to me.
I think I heard something like that. Can you tell me like how that experience was and what happened?
So I was like so scared beforehand. I come from like my mum is quite superstitious, and she basically she won't tell me my time of birth, because she's like, I don't want you to go and get a birth chart reading, because she's like superstitious. Like it's definitely like a Chinese mum thing. And so I was like, for some reason, I suddenly got really nervous and also worried that my mum would find out that I was doing a seance at the age of 28. And so I just sat down and I got this old Beatrix Potter book from my bookshelf. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put that there, lit the candle. And then the lady came on, and she kind of like, she said a few things that made me quite nervous. I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of like how the seance started, and everyone was asking questions like, will they touch us? And it's like, oh yeah, well, you can feel their like a hand on you, or you can feel some pressure around your neck sometimes and stuff like that. And so that freaked me out. And then we were like, okay, well, how do we stop that? So like everyone was in the bubble, and I was just chilling, and then there's a massive bang, and I have a big door here, so I couldn't see what happened, and I just had a bang to my left, and like in Host, I literally stood up, but unlike my cool character Gemma in Host, I started crying like hysterically, but then pretending to laugh, and when I laugh when I'm nervous as well, so I was like, I could see the book that had fallen, I was like freaking the fuck out, and then just came and sat back down, and the whole tone of the Zoom chat changed, and like Doug was like, really like, Douglas Cox, our producer, was like, okay guys, okay, it's fine, everyone, okay, then we're just gonna wrap it up, guys, okay, we're just gonna close the seance. And then the medium cut out, so then I was like, what? And basically that's Host, that's how we like did the whole sort of start of it. But then the sort of Jed, Gemma and Rob made that kind of the intro, and then they put the twist in it. But yeah, don't do seances, because stuff does happen.
I know. And Haley, so did you believe her? Like, did anyone not believe you? Like, they maybe thought you were joking?
I think when Gemma first stood up and was, because none of us heard the bang. And so we were like, first stood up and you were like, what's going on? But then soon you're like, oh, okay, she's playing a prank. Like, she's trying to get back at Rob for doing the prank on all of us. but then she turned around and you could see this tears like streaming down her face and her trying to like not cry. And you're like, oh no, my poor friend like is actually terrified. Like,
yeah.
Immediately you can see that like, well, okay, she is an amazing actor, but I feel like in that situation when you don't have to act, it was just raw emotion pouring out of those little eyeballs that I was like, oh no, okay, this is real. Maybe this, and then the medium cuts out and we're all like, I don't really know if I'm comfortable with this anymore. Are we really going to shoot a Zoom seance film now? Like, ooh.
Yeah, don't mess with spirits. They'll get you. Oh yeah, you mentioned being like your own crew because in lockdown you didn't really have anyone there with you. I saw some really awesome tweets, like pictures. I think it was from Caroline maybe, where it showed her laptop and like the microphone taped on it and all this stuff.
Yeah, the setup was where we had an iPhone camera pretty in line with the computer camera, so that Rob and Douglas could be on Zoom with us, and essentially that was their video village. They could watch what we were doing, and then we could record ourselves on the cameras, so we could do it a bit higher quality and try and get slightly better picture, because like my laptop is 2013 and things have improved since then.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would be trying to guide us as, you know, we're trying to be our own camera operators as well. And like, my partner's a DOP luckily, so he was helpful, but I've never been like great at operating my own camera. And I don't know, Gemma, if you felt like you had the experience to become all of a sudden your own casting and crew.
So Kieran, Hayley's partner, was a big help. Doug was just fantastic, always to be there. And then we had Callum as well, Callum Sample, who was helping us on sound. It was difficult. The fear every time you did an amazing take of you not pressing record was so real. Like, and also I have a mirror here, thank goodness, so I can just like look in the mirror and just make sure that I've actually like pressed record. But I know at least once everyone did that thing where we did a really good take and everyone went, Doug, and he went, what? And then everyone went, no. But it's okay because it's good because you got Zoom as well going.
And you did, I think I saw photos, maybe it was you, Gemma, like adding blood to your face and stuff like that. How'd like the cabinet doors like swing open and stuff? Or was that someone else that pulled a string or something? That was you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was a real team effort day where, you know, because we were still also in lockdown where we weren't supposed to necessarily be, you know, we didn't want to break any kind of the rules and touch each other, you know, get closer than 6 feet. But Gemma had to come over to my apartment and film that scene. And so that was the day I got to just be crew. And so we had these contraptions we would put in the cabinets that were all attached to a remote. And then you would just press the remote and it would fire a massive force at the door and swing it open. But then I had probably like 20 lines of fishing wire attached to random things in the kitchen. And it was on you know, we were all kind of on a 3, 2, 1, and Gemma had to react with the camera and the computer screen, as well as then me pulling at the same time, and then my partner pushing the remote. So it was just like, okay, please get this right in a few takes, because every time we'd have to pull and hope that it all went at the same time. And then if we didn't, we had to reset it, which like you can see it's a massive mess.
Yeah,
it is everywhere.
So me and Hayley, because obviously we had to stay really far apart, and so every time she did it, all I could do was literally sit and watch Hayley tidy up from the other corner of the room, and then constantly be like, oh, I wish I could help you. Like the most annoying comments, like, oh, I wish I could help you. Or I'd be like,
as you're like eating popcorn or something, watching her do it.
I'd be like, Hayley, you've actually missed one, or like, I think you're getting a bit tangled up, and Hayley's like, fuck off.
Shut up, it's been a long fucking day.
It was like fishing wire is like being in a booby trap, because it's like you can barely see it and you're just in the matrix trying to like not knock it off as soon as you reset something. It was just like, it was chaos, but it was a really fun day, I think, because we all just like, you know, one of the final shots we did as a group was just with Gemma and I, and then with Doug and Rob on Zoom, and so we all getting, you know, this very technical shot. So by the end, we're like getting a little delirious and just like, you know, as you do when you're just getting down to the wire and getting further and further into things, you just start to lose your mind a bit and go into, like, we started doing funny voices and just random things in between. It'd be like speaking in a hilarious voice, okay, ready and go, and then Gemma's just like, boom, back in it, and she's ready to go and ready to turn it on, and then okay, cut, and it's back into these like silly cartoon voices again, and like it was really fun.
Yeah, it seems like you guys had this so much fun. So how many locations were there? You said you were like in another room.
Each one of us had our own apartment that we would shoot in, house or apartment.
Yeah.
Then Emma's house, I think, is made up of 5 or 6 different locations.
Oh wow.
She had 2 stunt doubles. So basically there's a whole house of people that live together who are all stunts and all like riggers.
Mm-hmm.
So there were loads of cuts in between. I mean, I'm sure Jed filled you in this, but there was loads of cuts in between, like Emma's stunts moving to like Anna and Ginny as well. So I think she had a lot of other places. Anna was we met Anna this weekend at a socially distanced picnic in the park, and she did also Radina's a bit as well, which was super cool.
Yeah.
But those were all other people's houses, but you wouldn't, I didn't know. I was like, oh, Radina. I'd assume that was her house. It's just so quick, those cuts.
The movie's so brilliant. There's so many moving parts, and it's awesome that they pulled this together into like this hit movie.
It was a real like team effort. Everyone involved, you know, did their part and put 110% into it to make sure that everything did flow really easily and did work out in the end.
So other than being, you know, all friends working together, what do you think is your most favorite experience of the whole process of the 12 weeks from the idea to shooting, editing, which is brilliant, by the way, 12 weeks to do all of that. That's insane. That's really cool.
I'd say mine was getting to do this stunt. I've never gotten to do my own stunt before.
Right now we're going to do a spoiler, you know, but you should have seen the movie by now. It's been out a week and a half. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, go ahead though.
I'll try not to give too much, but my death scene where I do a stunt, and I've never done anything like that. So we had 2 of our stunt coordinators, Nathaniel and Matt, come over, and they brought a crash mat to my house and rigged me up in a bodysuit and in a harness so that I was protected, like limbs and knees and elbows and all the major joints were protected. My rib cage was protected, and so they taught me how to fall correctly so I wouldn't hurt myself. And then they were like, okay, crash mat's gone, like you're good. Like, and so then you're like, oh, I actually have to fall on real ground and then be dragged out the door.
Yes.
So they, I'd have a rope attached to my back and a rope attached to my foot and have to just do that scene where I just constantly got dragged out. Ooh, bug. Being dragged out the door, and every time it was like, for them, I think for for Nathaniel and Matt, they're like, they usually have a lot more prep time with someone before they have to do kind of a semi-dangerous stunt, like not super dangerous, but before they're dragging someone out down a hallway. And a couple of times in the one that makes it into the movie, you can see me slam into the side of the wall.
Yeah.
Which, that happened, and they were like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, do you need a break? Trying to be doing their due diligence. And I was just like, woo, let's go again. Like, that was awesome. It's like being on a little roller coaster. So it was just, I wanted to just keep doing it because it was so much fun.
What about you, Gemma?
So basically, we don't watch horrors, but we watched all of our horrors in this condensed 2 weeks because Rob would show us like horror clips before every take. So we were all like kind of like on this like high, like we'd just been screaming and yelling and crying, and then Rob would be like, okay, everybody get up. So everyone would get up, and then he's like puts on ABBA Dancing Queen, and then we're all like dancing to ABBA, and then he's like, okay, shh, everyone turn your lights off, and then puts on like the most horrific, like gory horror film. So I'm gonna remember that, the emotional roller coaster of ABBA to like The Conjuring.
Yes.
That's awesome. It was probably singing the song kind of loosened you up a little bit, right? Like got you kind of silly, just okay. And then it's okay, now it's time to shoot. Now it's time to be scary.
Yeah. And a lot of the scenes, how we'd film them, the start of them would be this banter between us. and then there's the shift that happens. So there's still got to be this eeriness, but there's still got to be a little bit of banter. And then when the shift happens, that's when you've got to know exactly where you're getting to on that emotional journey. And so there was all these different kind of interplaying things going on.
What was brilliant about this film too, there'd be a lot of tension, maybe like a scare, or like you didn't know if a scare was going to come or a sort of relief. I've watched this now 3 times. I've had to pause it every minute to see like, okay, is there something in the background? Like, cause I know on first viewing, I missed so much. And I think a lot of people will miss a lot.
I still can't find, there's one bit with, can I say?
Sure, go ahead. Oh, another spoiler, but yeah, here you go.
Not really a spoiler, but you look for Alan when Radina goes for a wee, and I'm like this, and I can't find it. And every time, and I've literally gone frame by frame, and I don't know where it is, and I'm getting really annoyed because I'm getting so frustrated because I know it's there.
You know
but
what?
I don't know if it's playing a prank because Rob is the notorious prankster of the group now. So.
It seems like he would be. He's a fun guy. It seems like he would do jokes like that, like funny stuff.
You know, he told us that Seylan was a real medium, so we were all, apart from Haley knew,
Yeah.
so we were all, I kept apologizing, being like, I'm so sorry, it's just character choices, I really respect your job. And then at the rap party, he was like, you know, Seylan's an actor, and I was like, I've lost sleep over this.
What is funny is before he even said that to me, that you thought Seylan was a real medium. I remember saying to him, Seylan she was so believable as a medium. I thought she really was.
Me and you were the same there, John. Me and you were the same. We would have been both. Haley, I can't believe you just what Haley was texting her, like being like, lol, they're being all like professional.
I mean,
that's awesome.
I was sworn to secrecy by Rob, and I didn't want to break the bond between actor and director by giving away the secret, and
Whose side are you on, Haley? Whose side are you on, man?
It's
It's all this bad blood. Jeez.
Oh, told you.
Can we all just get along?
Oh.
And Haley, like at the beginning of the film, your nervous tension, how it set the tone for the film, I think, because you could see it in your face. And I think all of us are watching, like we're hooked in right there.
I love all the fan theories that have come out from this, that it's really my fault and that maybe I was secretly planning something.
Gemma, did you put that out in the universe?
Planted some people, maybe. I know some people. I know some horror fans.
Of course. Everyone, horror fam, if you have not seen Host yet, please, if you're not subscribed to Shudder, they have like a 7-day free trial. I know a lot of people have just done the free trial to watch this movie. Get Shudder, watch Host. I think the best experience to do is get your laptop out, put on headphones. You're immersed in the experience. You feel part of this seance. It's such a cool movie. So thank you so much, Gemma and Haley, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. This has been loads of fun.
Yeah. And please come on again. I'd love to have you on. Wouldn't it be awesome if there's like a Host 2 or like something like that? I don't know how it would happen.
I mean, you never see Gemma and I die, so.
That's right.
There is a fan theory. There are a few fan theories of what happens to Haley and I.
You two are excellent in the film. Everyone is. Bravo. Congrats on the hits. And I hope to talk with you all soon.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.